congratulations on your results. How confident are you that they could be replicated at a general election?
Well, we have had a fantastic set of election results, as you say, across England, Scotland and Wales. And we've seen a real revival in rural areas such as Somerset and Cumbria. And we've made real inroads into new areas in what we call our blue wall area. Places like West Oxfordshire and Wimbledon and Esher and Walton and Harpenden, places where Liberal Democrats are currently in second place and where we want to target Conservative MPs at the next general election. Of course, we never ever take votes for granted, and so we will be working very hard over the coming months and years to ensure that we can win the support and votes of people in these areas.
Well, you've of course got the Tiverton and Honiton by-election coming up, that one triggered by the resignation of Neil Paris for watching pornography. Dominic Raab admitted he actually faces a tough fight in his seat as well at the next general election. In those two places specifically, are you confident that we could see Lib Dem MPs?
Well, certainly in Esher and Walton, which is Dominic Raab's seat, we have a very strong local government base now, and we're hopeful that that is a seat that we might be able to win at the next general election. And in Tiverton and Honiton, I think you can see that really across the whole of the southwest, actually, Liberal Democrats have a very strong history of being the key challengers to the Conservatives in that area, and we are starting to see a revival there. And if there's one message we can take from these local elections, it's that people are really fed up of being taken for granted in both of these places and many more places as well, whether it's the Partygate scandals, whether it's misleading Parliament, whether it's the cost of living crisis or running our health services into the ground. People are really sick and tired of being taken for granted.
Now, of course, it's important to qualify some of what we've been saying by the fact that these are local elections. People do vote very differently in a general election, tends to be for bigger parties. But what the results do point towards, according to the Sky News analysis as well, is a hung parliament with neither Labour or the Conservatives managing to get a majority. Would the Lib Dems be prepared to go into a coalition?
Well, the outcome of the next general election is entirely in the hands of the voters. We don't even know when the next general election is going to be. We don't know what the mood or the state of the country is going to be. But the message that we've got from these local elections is that people are really, really scared about the cost of living emergency that is happening right now. Just to come in again on the possibility of a coalition, you won't rule out doing a coalition either with the Conservatives or with Labour then? Our number one priority for the Liberal Democrats is ousting this Conservative government. We have no interest in doing a coalition with this Conservative government at all. We have said that we are second place to the Conservatives in around 80 seats around the country, and those are the areas where we will be targeting Conservative MPs, and we want to play a role in ousting them. But right now, there is a cost of living emergency.
Coalition with Labour?
Look, the outcome of the next general election is in the hands of the voters. Right now, what voters have been telling us over the last few days in the run-up to the local elections is that there is a cost of living emergency, which is why we want to see an emergency VAT cut in the Queen's speech. They are fed up with their health services being driven into the ground. People can't see their GPs.
So just to be crystal clear, then you won't rule out a coalition with the Labour Party?
Liberal Democrats have said that we want to win as many seats as possible off the Conservatives at the next general election. And one way or another, we would like to play a role in ousting this Conservative government. It's far too soon to say what that might look like or how that might work, but we would want to play a role in ousting this Conservative government. That's our number one priority.
OK, I think reading between the lines, that's actually quite clear. Just finally, I want to ask you a question about Keir Starmer. If he is found to have broken COVID laws by Durham police, if he's issued with a fixed penalty notice, does he need to resign?
Well, I think it's absolutely vital for public trust that these allegations are investigated. I'm sure they will be investigated thoroughly, and I hope they'll be investigated quickly as well. But what I think is really important to remember is that there was only one man who wrote these rules that separated families at these key moments of children's births and people's deaths. And really, it was Boris Johnson who wrote those rules, who was on TV screens every single night telling us we had to follow them or people's lives would be lost. And it's Boris Johnson who wrote the rules, broke the rules, and is now subject to 3 different investigations.